Holliday Dorsey Fife House. My name is John Lynch and I'm the manager here, and I want to tell you a little bit about our historic structure. The Holliday Dorsey Fife House was built in 1859 by John Stiles Holliday. It has never been moved. It sits in its original location and has for 154 years. The City of Fayetteville bought the house in 1999 with two purposes in mind. The first, of course, was to preserve and restore the house, and the second was to provide a location for a local history museum. The Holliday Dorsey Fife House is one of the most recognized structures in the county, aside from the courthouse and Starr's Mill. It is, however, the most historical house in the county. In the 5 years that the museum has been in operation, we've had visitors here from over 40 states and 15 different countries. The museum falls under the management of the Main Street program in Fayetteville, whose goal is to revitalize downtown and attract visitors back to the square. Funding and operational policy are the responsibility of the DDA, or Downtown Development Authority, whose board is made up of business people, merchants, and city officials.
The family room represents the three main families that lived in the house and for whom the house is named. Those families are the Hollidays, the Dorseys, and the Fifes. A short history of the house can be found in here, as well as the connections to several famous people. Personalities such as John Henry Doc Holliday, Mattie Holliday, Margaret Mitchell, and Georgia Governor Hugh Dorsey have strong ties to the house. There are photos and memorabilia from all three families, as well as representative furniture from each era of occupancy. There are some items of interest that were found in the walls of the house during restoration, including a pair of shoes from about 1860. There are some fascinating theories as to why the shoes were hidden in the walls of the home. The War Between the States room was created because of the remarkable amount of Confederate history that exists not only in the house, but the city and county as well. Much of that history is reflected in photos of the men from the county that fought in the war, actual relics from the skirmishing that took place here during the war, and some legendary stories that have been handed down to us about the events that took place here in the 1860s. All of the families that lived here had a hand in the war. Dr. Holliday served in the Confederate military, as did his brothers and a son. The Fifes, of course, did not, but both of their fathers were Confederate soldiers, and both left legacies attesting to that fact. An important flag was made in the house at the beginning of the war. An exact replica can be seen in the house. Mrs. Holliday had a hand in the manufacturing of that flag. The Dorsey family played a prominent role in the subsequent history of that flag. The house is believed to have served as a temporary hospital during the skirmishing that took place in Fayette County in July of 1864. Our local history room features several artifacts and important documents relating to our county's history. Old photographs are prominently displayed on the panels. There is information on Marquis de Lafayette, a French nobleman who aided the American colonists during their struggle for independence. Lafayette is the namesake for our county and city. Another historical figure displayed in this room is Creek Chief William McIntosh, whose tragic story reveals the very founding of our county. There are many other interesting historical relics and stories associated with this room, such as original pieces from the 1825 Fayette County Courthouse. Information of other people, events, and historical places in our county can be obtained in this local history room. The Gone with the Wind room is probably the most popular room in the museum. It was created not only to honor Margaret Mitchell, but to commemorate her best-selling book Gone with the Wind, which was published in 1936 and debuted as a movie in 1939. Fayette County and Fayetteville in particular played an important role in the story of Gone with the Wind, and Margaret Mitchell herself has important ties to our city and county. There is information and interesting facts about the character actors from the movie, as well as some actual historical facts and stories about the actual people from here that are tied with the story. Once again, the Holliday family surfaces in a major way when the background of Gone with the Wind is examined. Upstairs has 4 bedrooms that were originally used as bedrooms for members of all 3 families. Starting in the southwest corner, we have created a bedroom with furnishings that represents all eras of occupancy. The granddaughter of the Fife family has told us that this room was the bedroom of Elizabeth Fife, the only daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Fife. The Veterans Room was created to honor heroes and veterans from Fayette County that served in the military prior to and after the war between the states. There is some information on Revolutionary War veterans from Fayette County as well, some of which are said to have had a hand in naming the county after General Lafayette. There are many photos in this room as well. Images of soldiers who fought in World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam are displayed proudly here, with some information on their war records. Also displayed in this room are relics, souvenirs, and historical memorabilia from all of these conflicts. This room was made possible by a generous donation of a local businessman, and much of the material in here is on loan from local families who had relatives in the military. Once again, all of the families who occupied the house are in some way represented in this room. For instance, Governor Hugh Dorsey was in office during World War I and did much to support the war effort, especially the Georgia troops. The front northeast upstairs room is presently being used as a special display room. The museum has rotating displays in here that usually correspond to various seasons of the year. At present, there is an interesting display of toy cap guns and paper dowels from the 1940s and 50s. All of these items are on loan from local residents. The time period of the rotating display depends on the time of the year and the availability of the items. Interestingly, this room has the reputation of the most ghost sightings and paranormal activity. There are 2 books published that have stories about the Holliday Dorsey house and its legendary spirits. We refer to the final room as the attic room. That is because the access to the attic is found here. The famous attic holds a deep, dark secret that can be entered by the steep staircase located on the west side of the room. The attic is off limits to tours, but the secret is revealed to tour groups who enter the room. At present, the room holds artwork from local artists that depict historical events, many of which took place in Fayette County and Georgia.
In closing, I want to welcome you all to come and experience a tour of the Holliday Dorsey Fife House. We're located at 140 West Lanier Avenue, just off the square in downtown Fayetteville. Our website is www.hdfhouse.com. The hours of operation are 10 to 5, Thursday through Saturday. The phone number is 770-716-5332. Group tours are available. We also welcome walk-ins and no appointment is necessary. Y'all come see us.